far into vision, lifting up that soul right. High low, high low, high low, high low. Elevate my love, generate my touch. Everything I see coming to me, I'm knowing. Proofs that I bear from the sowing. I just put in work to the morning, to the three bird that we heard. Stepping through the light, that's a rebirth. Giving thanks to life and the ether. I can never fall when I'm free word. Free bird, free word, free bird, free word, free bird. I'm Elo, I'm Elo, I'm Elo, I'm Elo. Sun rays like a satellite. Energies bring me back to life. Catch me chilling with the Elo. Universal flow, I belong here. Sun rays like a satellite. Energies bring me back to life. Catch me chilling with the Elo. Universal flow, I belong here. I low, I low, I low, I low, I low.
I fucking love
Thanks
you.
to the fire. I low, I low, I low, I low. Sun rays like a satellite. Energies bring me back to life. Catch me chilling with the Elo. Universal flow, I belong here. Keep that focus on that starlight. God of my universe, part of my mission, righteous the all man. Raw splitting the sea into that clear sight. Go far into vision.
Good night, beautiful people. Good night, good night.
High
Good
low,
night, good night.
high low, high low. Elevate my love,
How you beautiful people doing tonight?
my touch. Everything I see coming to me, I'm knowing. Proofs that I bear from the sowing. I just put in work to the morning, to the three bird that we heard. Stepping through the light, that's a rebirth. Giving thanks to life and the ether. I can never fall when I'm free word. Free bird, free word, free bird, free word, free bird. I'm Elo, I'm Elo.
How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Share the live, share the live. Good night, Mama Star. Good night, Mama Star. Is it clear on YouTube? Let me know that it's clear on YouTube. I'm gonna go in the comments and I'm gonna show my volume is down so it doesn't have any feedback. I want to share the live, tag people, all that good stuff. But give me some feedback. How's it?
I low, I low,
Good.
I low, I low.
I fucking love
Thanks
you.
to the fire.
Just want to tag some people really fast that wants to be tagged so they can get the post.
I low, I low, I low. Sun rays like a satellite.
I pray you guys' day is going well.
Catch me chilling with the
Elo.
Universal flow, I belong here. Keep that focus on that starlight. God of my universe, part of my mission, righteous the all man. Raw splitting the sea into that clear sight. Go far into vision, lifting up that soul right. high low, high low, high low,
Okay, great.
high low. Elevate my
Okay.
love,
So,
generate
this is gonna come.
everything I see coming to me. I'm knowing
Yep,
fruits that I
we're
bear
good.
from the sowing.
So, I want to welcome you guys. I thank you guys for coming in, for following. Great evening, blessed evening. I'm really grateful that you guys are choosing to spend your evening with me. You definitely don't have to, but you guys choose to. Don't take it for granted whatsoever. Um, and so with that being said, I want to turn this down just a little more. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it's just light, nice and light in the background, tongue tied. So the music you guys are hearing in the background is actually my godson, Sky Ken. Let me see, he might actually be on the Instagram. But the background the music that you're hearing in the background is in fact my godson, Sky Ken. So please follow him. And this song is in fact entitled Elo, in reference to the Elohim. I was going to say that the song is entitled Elohim, but the song is called Elo, and it is in reference and honor to the Elohim. So that's something for you all to do some homework on who and what the Elohim are. Why the Elohim important. All that good stuff. But anyhow, I welcome you. I greet you live from my deck. As the sun is going down, as the sun is setting, not setting, but the sun is actually going down, but you can still see a little bit of light hidden beyond the trees. And it's a beautiful evening. It has a light chill in the air, but it's not bad. But I feel good. Today has been a productive morning, a peaceful morning. So to God be the glory, to that praises to my ancestors for granting me a peaceful, beautiful day. But anyhow, I feel good. And we're gonna ride the wave. As rain is coming in. So as you guys see, we are talking about relationships and spirituality. We've been on this topic for our second week discussing relationships and spirituality. We're covering spirituality as a whole. However, this is two of relationships and spirituality, focusing on twin flames and soulmates and karmic relations. And so I don't want to get too deep into the conversation until my co-host comes on. But in the interim, I would like to see in the comments, are you guys familiar with twin flame energy? Are you guys acquainted with soulmate energy? What is your idea when you hear the word twin flame? What is your idea or understanding of a twin flame? What is a twin flame to you? When you hear the word soulmate, what is a soulmate to you? Soulmate, what comes to mind? You understand? What are the feelings that you feel when you think of twin flame? What are the feelings that you feel when you think of a soulmate? These things I think are very important. So we're going to dive into some of that a little bit, but I definitely want to see in the comments as well. Go ahead and share the live, share the Facebook, subscribe, follow, comment, interact. Do I have my cards with me? I might even read for someone tonight. I might actually get my cards out. I don't have them upstairs, but I'll have them brought to me. And I think I might read for someone tonight and surprise someone with a reading to see what Spirit has to say about them and their twin flame. You understand? Them and their soulmate or love and relationship in general. However, I think twin flame energy is something that we've all have encountered to a degree. Making connections, going through our life, whether it's been in high school, whether it's been in your college years, whether it's been someone that you grew up with, you understand, and has crossed your path more than that you have this divine connection with. But I think the twin flames is something that all of us to a degree, have entered. I think even when it comes to soulmates, some of us may have encountered our soulmate, some of us may have not encountered our soulmate as of yet. And before we go deep, I just want to do a check-in again. Please comment. Can you see clearly? Are you hearing me clearly? Do I need to speak up? Let me make sure my mic is turned up. You understand? I want tonight to be a very nice, beautiful, smooth sailing night. Good vibes, right? Good vibes only. So, talk back to me. What are you guys' thoughts on twin flames? Have you encountered twin flames before? Do you know what a twin flame is? What are your questions about twin flames? So as we get into the conversation, we can answer some of your questions. And make sure that we are making sure that we are covering what you need to do, what you give me a second. I want to check in with my sis. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I sent her the link, but I sent the link to her. But that is okay. She's getting herself together. So get your wine, roll your spliff. You understand? Kickbacks, relax. Get your questions ready. The Instagram is good. Hi, Instagram. How you guys doing on Instagram? Thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for tuning in. Share the live. Subscribe, like, follow. All that beautiful, great stuff. Okay. Well, we can definitely resolve that. That's not a problem, Danielle. Thank you for coming on tonight. That wasn't a problem. It was more so scheduled, but not a here or there. We can definitely resolve that. That's not a problem, my dear. How's your night going? And you're married, my darling. I'm doing readings regarding, well, doesn't mean you don't need a reading on love, but you're with your soulmate. So I don't think you need a reading on your soulmate, do you? Do you need a reading on your soulmate? We can definitely check in on it. Maybe we need a little pepper, a little spice, a little zestiness. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Okay. And then Mama Star said, I think I met my soulmate like 8 or 9 years ago. I do wish he would go away out of my head and spirit. Anyhow, hey Rain.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm in a great mood and I'm ready to have this conversation.
Yes. They are geared up. They're ready. We're getting into it. So I just was warming up, getting the jacuzzi nice and warm. We didn't get to our high degree yet, but we're just getting it nice and cozy, breaking ice, breaking the chill. And so I asked the people, were they familiar with twin flames? Have they had encounters with twin flames before? Are they acquainted with soulmates? Have they met their soulmates? Are they trying to discover who and what their soulmate is and where they are and all that good stuff? And I think the people are a little scared for whatever reason. I don't want to talk back tonight, but Mama Star is she coming with it? Star said here, I think I met my soulmate like 8 or 9 years. So we're gonna get into her in a minute. Anyway, as we break the ice, Rain, as we get into it. Let's start. We don't want to move like super fast. We want to take our time and walk it right. So twin flames. Let's start there. Twin flames. Okay. Have you encountered your twin flame yet?
I was getting ready and I said to myself, Ricky's gonna ask me this question. And am I ready to share that answer? And I would say yes, I have met my twin flame.
Okay, wonderful. So before we get into the juices of meeting our twin flames and all that good stuff, what is a twin flame to you?
It's your mirrored soul. It's your divine partner. It's literally you, just in another body. And when I say it's the balance of the masculine and the feminine, it can be two men together, it could be two women together. It's just who carries what more dominant energy. It's the combination or the representation of holy love. It's love with a purpose, because your twin flame is someone you are agreed to incarnate with in this dimension, to perform a particular task, to raise the vibrations of Earth, to help Earth in the ascension process from the 3D to the 5D to ultimately the 6D. So your twin flame is your divine counterpart.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. And
You
I
guys
would
share
agree.
a soul mission.
I agree with you. Even in, we had to do a little bit of homework, you guys, because we wanted to come good. And I learned some things in my research too. And one of the things directly, I don't want to be redundant and say exactly what Neek said um, regarding your mirrored soul, but taking it to a different level. I believe we get into twin flames too, and the depths of the mirrored soul. Like I was listening to something, you guys would be in the same headspace, same mission, attracted to the same things, sometimes eating along the same diet. Maybe I'm a pescatarian too, and to the same things. You understand? And even sometimes experiencing some of the similar struggles in the same seasons, and even the same victories in the same seasons. Would you agree?
I completely agree. With your twin, you will realize that your life literally mirrors each other. So let's say your twin is going through financial prosperity, you will start going through financial prosperity. If your twin is, you may not share the exact same interests, but your interests are complementary. So it's like literally finding your yin to your yang, and that perfect puzzle piece that fits with you. Even if you look at the some of the traumas that they incur, it will be very similar. It will be along the same lines. So it's literally the person that you are energetically tethered to in this lifetime. Not everyone is blessed with the privilege of meeting their twin or encountering their twin. Or, sometimes your twin doesn't even incarnate within this lifetime or within the same generation.
I was going to ask you that, because even as I've had situations where I've felt like a twin flame. I don't know if this is going too far. Can you have more than one twin flame? I feel like, or there's one.
No, there's just one. You could have
Okay.
more than one. You could have more than one soulmate.
One soulmate. Yes.
Because your soulmate is just the people that are part of your soul tribe and soul family. So they understand you in a deeper, more complex level, where your twin is you. It's literally you, just in another human body. So you're identical in the soul vibrations and frequencies.
I believe I've had more soulmate encounters. Not plenty. I can say at least 2, maybe 3 soulmate encounters, versus twin flames. I don't think I've yet found my twin flame. And sometimes I question whether or not they've came down or I just have not reached to that point of manifesting it as of yet.
I feel like when you're supposed to meet your twin flame is when your mission is supposed to start. When I met my twin flame, I was going through a transition period within my life. And then we went through a period of separation where we didn't even see each other for like years, like literally years, but we would always be in communication with one another. Some of the biggest growths I had interpersonally with self was prompted from my interactions and relations with my twin. So I feel like when you meet your twin, you know, because it catapults changes within your life that can't be explained by anything else outside of this relationship.
Okay. That one is deep. That one is deep. That one is deep. Being that one is really deep. Nick, you have me thinking. You have me stuck a little bit because I still, even in digging, I find myself on this line of like really having to search myself and search myself as far as I've had things to come across my life that I feel like in my awakening about the catastrophic awakening period. There's one individual that I felt kicked the bucket to that and definitely played a pivotal role and was destined to be in my life. In that time when we had a very strong connection that was not even tied to physical or a physical intimacy or any of that. It was holistic, mental, spiritual, emotional, motivational, encouraging, and all of that. And I was told once before, like, we came from, like, we followed each other from a past life, and it's always like, it was like this cat and mouse thing. But when I listened to another part of the research and found that, it said like your mentality will be the same, the things that you desire would be the same. That would be where I would say it differed. We were very spiritual, but our attractions to certain things were very different.
But I want to say this, and I think I said this in the beginning, it does not have to be the same. It's usually complementary. And
Okay,
complementary
now
means
that takes it to another level. Okay.
that means it
Okay.
works well
Okay.
together. Now,
Nice.
there's something about when you meet your twin flame, there's this like almost electric vibration that is felt when you are around this person. It's a deep shift within your soul. It's just a knowing. Like, I didn't know the terminology until about maybe 4 years ago. But this person has been in my life over 15 plus years.
Okay.
And it's a relationship that really shifted my mentality on a lot of ways of thinking. So I think with your twin versus your soulmate, it's this paradigm shift that happens when you meet this person. Platonic soulmate doesn't have to be romantic. Your soulmate is just people that are part of your soul tribe. I do truly believe every one of my friends are my soulmates because of the instantaneous connections that I've had with them, with the ease of understanding that I had with them. Do they help me elevate my thoughts? Yes. But the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame is the way they literally open a new timeline onto you. They shift you into a deeper form of thinking. They shift your mentality. They literally shift the way you view the world because they're here to help you reach the stage of enlightenment where you can raise the vibrations of Earth. Remember, these are souls that are here on a specific mission to help the world. This is not just to help themselves. So they have to heal each other to a point where they can operate in these higher frequencies and vibrations.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's the iron sharpen iron. And it's the best sharpening because we know each other. Like one that I heard was like, you can't run from your twin flame because they know you. You see each other. The thoughts, the behaviors, what you think you need to do. You understand.
So
now, go ahead.
Key to one of the aspects of the twin flame dynamic is that runner chaser mentality. Because nobody likes to,
stressful.
No one likes to face things within themselves that they don't want to admit. And your twin being a mirror, sometimes their behavior would force you to admit that, hey, I do similar things. I have the same characteristics that I'm claiming that I don't like. It lives within me as well. So when you start to be having to face yourself, that's where you have this pull and tug and the runner chaser mentality and dynamic occurs.
Then I know exactly what flame is. I know exactly what it is. And the twin flame, I want you guys to know, like twin flame, it's not restricted um to like y'all being in the same generation or the same
Nope.
race, you understand,
Nope.
or same cultural background. None of that matters. It's all internal, all spiritual, all preordained, before you came here. Now, start asking another question here, Neat. Rain, she says, so can your twin flame leave after you've met? I
Most
would
of the
say
time,
yes.
most of the times they do leave. You go through periods of separation. Like I said, I didn't see my twin for like a good 7+ years, you know,
Ooh, Lord of
and
mercy.
I lived a completely different life and went about my business and whatever. But this person was always in my life. But there's these periods of separation that has to occur in order for you to
Mm,
go through solo growth and expansion, because there can be the presence of codependency that comes between twin flames. So, spirit will
mm.
separate you to help you develop your own personal self and identity, to figure out that true essence of self. And then when you come to a different level of understanding, then that person may re-enter your life. Or if
Hmm.
you're supposed to be
Now,
taken to the next stage of life, they might be the one to help you get there.
or vice versa. Vice versa is it works two ways. Is that you
Ways.
may be the person that's running, or they may be the person running. And something that I know for a fact from the individual that I definitely believe to be my twin flame, as I put all the pieces together, um, is that a lot of times that running is due to the pressure being so heavy that there needs to be some form of a space to grow, on, and I want to say on both parts. Even if you may find yourself being the more mature mentally or spiritual person, there's still some growth that has to happen on your part, whether that may be your approach to certain situations, your perception of certain situations, how you may have inflicted, you know the other party to feel some kind of way by something that you may have said or done. You understand? And so there needs to be a level of correction and growth within you, so that when that reconnection happens, you are in a better space with how you treat that person. And even for them, with growing to realizations and becoming more aware of certain things that may have transpired and why they have transpired. Go ahead, Rain.
And I wanted to be very honest. Most twin flames never end up in union because people don't really take the time to go through the necessary healing in order to maintain and sustain that type of union and that type of partnership.
Mm,
Because remember, this person
okay.
is constantly holding a mirror up to you in your areas of shortcoming. And like I originally said, we don't like, as human nature, it's not something that we like or are comfortable with.
Mm,
You know, even the most spiritually enlightened person still has shadows that are being hidden. And when you reflect a mirror, what happened? The shadows come out. So most twin
yes.
flames
Yes.
don't make it into this romantic partnership or this romantic union, but it's the knowing for me that there's someone out there that truly understands you, that
Mm,
truly understands the way that you think, the way that you feel. You can sometimes you don't even need to speak to them. You can just feel their energy. You may hear a
mm-hmm.
song and then your mind is ran to them. It may not even be a song that you share together, but just something about the vibration of this song made you think of them. It's such a
Yes.
deep
Yes.
and intrinsic energetical bond that you know you're never in this world alone, because you can feel your twin no matter how far away they may be from you once you have that initial interaction. It
There's a
just
level of
sparks some-
telepathy, yeah, internal
it
connection
just
that binds.
it just sparks something within
Wow.
and it's one of the most highest levels of spiritual love. To
Hmm.
me, your twin flame loves you in the true definition of unconditionally. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I love you unconditionally," but there is always expectations that must be met. With your twin flame,
Yes.
this is a person who
Yes.
just loves you simply because you're you.
Yes.
They see the light in
Yes.
you, and you see the light in them.
Hmm. Hmm. My God. They don't come to destroy, but they come, the pure intent is to build and to empower. And sometimes we don't know how to always receive that, but the truest intent is to build and then to empower, not to destroy, tear down. You know. So that's a
That's where
very
a karmic comes in.
mm,
Now,
okay. To it. Let's talk about it.
karmic relationships in a lot of ways can mimic a twin flame, because there is a soul contract that's in place where you and this person have to have this interaction for whatever reason,
Mm,
predetermined by this soul contract. Now, when we hear karma, we always think that it's something negative. But your karma is just whatever you have incurred from the lifetimes before and how it's going to play out in this lifetime here. So these
now, do you think
relationships,
that's one second before we go to the next part of that? I want to kind of put a star there and say that even with that element, past seeds being sown, whether it's past lives or past actions of present life, and that karmic turning, would you say that operates on both sides of the spectrum, both positively and negatively?
yes.
Okay.
So your karmic is just whatever energetical thing you have accumulated over your lifetimes. So, or in this lifetime. So, how that relationship plays
Mm,
out is dependent on what you have been sowing. You may meet a karmic partner that you have a soul contract with where it's completely positive. You've
mm-hmm.
grown, but it's for a time and period. It never is this long lasting connection,
Yes.
because it's
Okay.
limited to the
Mm-hmm.
frames of the contract.
Hmm.
So, but when we do think of the connotations of a karmic, it does tend to go to think about the negative aspects. These are the relationships that are overly traumatic. These are the relationships that teach you so many things through the dispensation of trauma, abuse, neglect. These are those negatively impacting relationships, but you still learn a lesson through the process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key to a karmic relationship, is the lesson that you
Mm-hmm.
learn throughout the process.
Wow. The hidden blessing, the disguise that you have to go through it and come out on the end to look back and say, whoa, thank you. Because I was able to learn X, Y by Z and evolve from that. But it only benefits if you apply the lessons. Because if you go through it and don't learn from it, you'll find yourself in the next karmic situation to teach you all over again. And we
So I
definitely want to
think
avoid that.
I think what we need to acknowledge is that the purpose of relationships is not superficial. Most of the
Ashe.
growth, I was having a conversation and I was speaking about how only so much healing can be done in isolation. You need
Mm.
partnership in order to have those triggers come to the surface so you can process and work through it. We always say, hey, I need to heal, heal, heal in order to attract a mate and all that kind of stuff. Yes, that is true, but to an extent. Now, where these divine relationships come into place is that they're here to be that catapult of healing. There has
Hmm.
especially the twin flame dynamic. This person
Ooh-wee.
is your personal healer. You're their personal healer. Because no
My
one
God.
knows how to regenerate you more than yourself. You know what you need in order to feel rejuvenated, to feel revitalized, to feel fulfilled. So that's where these relationships come into place. But I really want to stress the point when we talk about relationships and spirituality is to understand there's so much more into play when we're talking about the power of a relationship. Whether that be a familiar
Yes.
relationship, whether that be a platonic relationship, whether that be an intimate relationship, we're mammals at the end of the day. We are herd pack people.
People. Yeah, by default. By default.
We
Beings by
can't
default.
exist
Yes.
on our own.
Yeah.
So when we're thinking about our relationships, we should be putting more time and effort into picking our relationship and understanding
Mm.
that if you're a person like myself, I'm a life path number 2. Partnerships and relationships
Same. Yes.
are how I learned most of my life lessons. Is in this partnership, in this working in unison with another person. That's how I go through most of my spiritual growth. It's from the
Yes.
relationships that I have in my life. So now that I'm aware of that, I'm a lot more cautious in what relationships I enter. But then
Yep.
you have
Yes.
times where you might just meet someone and there's an instant
Mm.
knowing. And I think that's like the soulmate relationships. Like you just meet someone and you're like, you're the stillness in the noise. Because for me, a lot of times I filter out people naturally without even trying. It's just how my vibrations are set up. But then every once in a while, there might be someone that comes along that just grabs my attention. And for
Hmm.
me, that's a signal that you're part of my soul family, that you're a soulmate.
Yes.
And we use
Yes.
that word soulmate with such a weight that people usually automatically think romantic or desiring a partnership with you. But when I say a soulmate, I'm just talking about the connection that we have on an energetic plane universally. That there's something about
Yes.
you that
Yes.
belongs to the tribe that is me. My soul recognizes your
Yes.
soul.
My soul sees you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Come today. Come today, rain. Come today, and you coming with good water. You showering us with good water to in on us today. Okay? That you have to like take a minute and sit in all that goodness. Did y'all process that? You have to take a minute and sit in that. Because again, the points to take away from that, it is not limited to, because of the weight of a soulmate, it is not limited to just a relationship of a companion, a marriage, a husband and wife, a boyfriend and girlfriend, da 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 da. It is those that are part of your soul tribe that play an intricate part of your holistic being. You understand? And not all parties of your soul family are going to operate the same. Some are going to push you in business. Some are going to push you creative. Some are going to make sure that your mental, someone's going to make sure that your physical being is great. Someone's going to be all inclusive. But you have to know the roles that soul members of your soul tribe play. And as Rain said, it's an internal feeling. You feel that chord. You feel that chord. You feel that link. It's like, and we know each other. We've been in cahoots. We've been in partnership. We've been in connection before. I know you. You know me. You understand? And it falls right into place. There doesn't need to be a disclaimer. There doesn't need to be an explanation how you fit into my life and what role you play. It just falls into place. And when it comes to your soul family, at least for me, and Rain, I would like to hear your perception, and at least with me, I have yet to have, and I thank God, but with my soul family, because of the divine purpose and connection, I don't have bump heads with my soul family. I don't have this tension, because we realize that in order for us to reach and fulfill our purpose and our mission, we must be linked together. It doesn't mean that every aspect of my mission, or you are there. But the energy and the role that you play in my life enables me now to what I must do and be the best at what I must be.
I feel like for me, my soul tribe has always been my place of refuge. If you are in my immediate circle and the people that I consider and I love, there's just this level of understanding between us
Mm.
where even if
Hmm.
there may be a disagreement, we are so intertwined into each other's minds, lives, and perspective that we know how to communicate through them. You know, your soul tribe truly takes the time to get to know you. They truly take the
Ashe.
time to understand you, and vice versa. You take the time to get to know them. And then because it's your soul tribe, there's already a pre deposit of just understanding because we're from
Hmm.
that same
I like
family.
that.
You know, we're
I
from
like
that
that.
same part of consciousness. And when we realize we are all human beings are all part of the same soul tribe because we're all part of the grand consciousness, then it
The
makes it so
collective
much easier.
consciousness.
It makes it so much easier to understand who you're supposed to attract and what you're supposed to attract into your life. For me, it's like when I meet my soulmates, it's like I see a light on them. It's like something
Hmm.
honed into them, and I'm like, I want to get to know you more. Because if you know me, I really have no interest in people. So once my radar goes off, and it's like I want to get to know you, I'm going into the situation knowing you must be part of my soul tribe because
My
something
God.
in me is anchored to you. And it's always worked out in a way that anybody that I have put my sight to and say, I want to get to know you, has immediately fell into place within my life. I don't know if that's a gift from God or just discernment or just the way my personality is set up, but I've been fortunate enough, especially in the past 4 years when I went along my healing journey, to attract people within my canopy, within my brackets that are, I know for a fact, my soulmates.
Hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that. And it's not an easy. You don't find them overnight, people. You don't find them overnight. You got to go through stuff. You got to experience some stuff. And be in the divine placement at the right place at the right time. And in different seasons of your life. Alignment looks at different seasons of your life. But these
I
soul
feel
tribe, they're constantly there. Yes, absolutely, Roman is tonic too. We cover that. Soul tribe and soulmates definitely can be platonic. It's not limited to what you are shagging with.
that's why I said earlier, like, I don't like the association and the weight of the word soulmate that now has become synonymous with a romantic partner because your friends are probably your truest soulmates because
Ooh, talk about it. Yeah.
they don't really have any expectations from you except the presence of you. So your friends, your platonic relationships, you know, those are some of probably your closest soulmates. It's very rare that romantically you're encountering a soulmate, but it's more common that platonically you are encountering a soulmate, you know? And if you pray to God for your friends to be your soulmates, you'll realize the different quality and types of friends that God will start to send within your life. I think, as I said
Hmm.
before, we don't put a lot of value and stock into the power of relationships. I don't make a lot of friends because I know that the type of love that I give, it's all encompassing. So it's a privilege to be
Yes.
my friend because I'm going to love you
Facts.
unconditionally, just the same way I would love a
Facts.
romantic partner unconditionally. So I
Yep.
don't make
Yep.
much differentiation between my friends and a lover, besides the intimate desires of sexual pleasure. But the love for me is the same. And that's because my people, my tribe, my friends are my soulmates.
I should. I love that. I love that. I hope you guys are making sure that you're checking in with your social circles, as I said last week, and who you calling friend, brother, sister. You understand, mama, cousin, aunt. These roles, who you choose to make your family, your social, really important. And you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful of who you allow into your inner being, into your inner. When you develop these dynamics, there's a level of vulnerability that comes with it. So that's why I agree with Rain when she said, sometimes your friends, and oftentimes your friends are often, your soulmates than the person that you an intimate relationship with, because the level of vulnerability and what you share, what you reveal, the closeness, the mask that you take off when you're with them is at a different level. I think it's really important to identify that. I want to know in the comments, have you guys, from some of the things that you guys have heard from us, have you guys had some of these dynamics in your life, and what have they been like for you? I would like to hear some of you guys' thoughts in the comments. Interact with us, talk to us. We love when you guys are talking back with us. And in the meantime, do share the live. Send it to someone in their comment, in their messenger, in their text, email. Share the live. But talk back to us. You know, um, I think it's very important too. You know that as we navigate through these um, soul tribe relationships, the soulmate relationships, and that the twin flame relationship, that we develop or have encountered or will encounter, for those of us that have not yet, is that we remember to operate from a space of truth and realness. I'm going to always implement that realness, because it's the best way that you're going to, receive from the lessons and experiences that are coming your way. Okay, Roman says here, I've had people to have, let me go ahead and put a comment here so Brain can see as well. He says, I've had people to come to, no. I've had people to have crushes on me, to realize that we have a strong connection and love each other, but it is a platonic connection, even though the pull is very strong. Interesting. Okay. So I want to make sure I'm understanding this right. You've had people to have crushes on you, to realize that you have a strong connection and love for each other, but okay. So when you talk about it being a platonic friendship, is it because you or the other person is afraid to have conversation about a relationship, or you realize that either after trying to date or having conversation about a relationship, that it's best to stay platonic?
Well, I can talk about a similar situation.
Let me hear, because I want to hear about
For
this.
me, so if I like you as a friend, there has to be something about you that I found initially attractive. So I've had people who I have started off with like, oh, I have a attraction for you, like you're a crush, but then I got to know them, and I'm like, oh no, this wouldn't work. We would be there's a connection there, but this connection is meant to stay on a platonic level, because if we were to cross that line, it would destroy what we have, because we're not in alignment for an intimate or
Oh, darling.
relationship type situation. So if that's what they're referring to, then I completely get that.
Roman, you got to give us some. We got to give us some clarity. How did the scenario plays out? And he also goes on to say, I am attracting a romantic partner in this season. So I want to hear you verbalize that did they show you that they were crushing on you, or you were crushing on them, or they were crushing on you, and you wanted to keep it friends and not cross lines of relationship, or did you never had a conversation relationship and just kind of like both were timid and just stayed in the zone? Okay, here we go. It says, yes, it is a situation of where I didn't have the same action, so it was best fit in a platonic mode. I've been in the same situation as well. So he's saying that he's been on both sides of the spectrum. The person had a crush on him. He did not feel the same as them. And then he's been in situations where he's had romantic feelings for someone, but they didn't feel the same towards him. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's like a very typical thing to happen, because a lot of times we are going based on initial attraction, and attraction is
Yes.
superficial. So when you realize, okay, the traits, especially when you become more clear in what you want in a relationship and you begin to have
Yes.
conversations with a person, you realize that we don't desire or align with the same thing. So it's best that we stay platonic friends, even though my initial thing was to have an attraction for you. At least when you reach a stage of like where you're just not hopping in a relationship to just say you're in a relationship, you should have that power of discernment to know, like, okay, you will not make a good partner for me, but we would make excellent friends. And then I've also had situations where, it's very rare because I'm very blunt. Like, if I like you, you will know. And,
oh God. Go ahead, give it to him plain, rain on him again, rain him, shower down.
No, I always say I have a big personality, and you can attest to this, Ricky. I'm going to show you my full personality from the very beginning, so you can decide.
The fullest.
You can decide if this is too much for you, and
you don't even get to see her in her full queendom. You understand? Y'all don't even see her with the full crown on. Okay, so we'll come with a whole nother level.
Okay, it's a lot. It gives a lot, But so, if I like you, I'm gonna let you know. And most of the people that I like, I pursue. That's just me.
Really?
I don't.
So you are an alpha male like that you pursue the guys. You don't wait for them to pull the first move.
No, I'm gonna come talk to you.
Okay, and ladies in the comments, are y'all alpha females too, or do y'all go ahead and go after what you see, or you wait for them to come after you? I would like to hear, because I must say I'm shocked, girl, because such homemaker, housewife vibes, conservative, old school with a little extra pepper tucked away in the back. I would not think.
So that's the thing. I don't like a lot of people. So if I see somebody that I like, I'm going to try my best to get your attention.
Okay.
If you sit
so
around,
there might be a little glamour. You'll work it a little. How do you work it? Give me the scenario. How do you work that? Being who you are as the sub, the girly girls. You give dainty lady vibes.
I think when you're ready. Like, I will lay a trap. Like, I'll post a picture, and I know you're gonna like that picture, and you're gonna like a few more pictures, and eventually you'll leave a comment, and eventually I'll answer the comment. And then, we'll begin to talk. But the whole time, the initiation and the intent was originally mine. I'll let you feel it was yours. Because, men need to, feel that, they're the pursuers. But the intent was mine. And then when we have the conversation, I'm very clear in what I desire and what I want. I feel like I'm grown, like I don't have time to waste. And if we're not going to be in alignment and we're not going to match each other's desire, as you said, I'm kind of old school. Some of my values and beliefs are old school, but then on the other hand, I have a lot of radical new school thinking. I'm like a walking contradiction most of the time. So, it takes a particular type of person to know if they can deal with all of that. So I prefer to just put it all out on the table, like, hey, I like you. Do you like me? If you don't, that's okay. We can be friends. Because obviously there was something that was drawing me to you in the beginning.
Ladies, I hope that you all are taking notes. I hope that you all are taking notes. For all of you that are out there seeking and searching and looking for love, Rain just gave you a gem, a jewel, okay, on how to work and finesse the situation, okay? So go out there. You ain't got to do too much.
But I'm going to say this, like, know your target audience. A lot of times
Oh,
we don't know what we could pull from what we can't pull. You should know at your big age, if you were 8 or 7, you could pull maybe a 9. Like, just know your pull, know your target audience, so that when you're laying the trap, you already know it's gonna take debate. You have to be
you giving
intentional.
it good today.
You have to be intentional in everything that you do. If we're gonna go the social media route, or if I'm gonna put myself in places where I see you more often, and you see me, and you're like, oh, I'm always running into this person. Oh, I know, because I know you be here, and I wanted to
Like
make
the Alicia
myself
Keys
known.
song at the diner when she wrote a number down on a napkin.
You know. But then there's
Mm-mm.
times, as bold as I can be very shy. Like, especially if I feel like, oh, you just so sexy and I can't deal with it. Like, I may never talk to you. And I may have liked you forever and you would never know. It really just depends on what energy I pull from the person.
Ooh wee, ooh wee. I just had a whole vision in my head. Oh God! I said, she look. It's like the scenario I saw in my head is like the $1 million man walk in the room, bro. You going to tuck in the corner, but if you got a nice corporate man with a nice 401k and a salary, you can probably put a little neck and say, "Negro, come here." I'm gonna go for him.
I don't really like corporate men.
Okay.
I, you know, I'm in the age now where I like me a blue collared
Okay,
man.
Roman. He said he's the same way with really attractive women.
Like I like me a good little blue collared man, working a nice little job, and I realize I like very spiritual men, like, Nori Obia, not to do the work, know your takes. Because
So,
most
fellas, fellas, if you're not an OBA man, a card reader, astrologer, numerologist, counselor, therapist,
a
that can do
kabbalistical
some
practitioner.
extra, a grandmaster. Nick said, "No, you're not for me. No, thank
You're
you.
not for me.
Next."
I think just because I just know where I spend my time and my energy. Like, I was having this conversation. I'm a Baptist, right? You know
Okay.
how long our church services be. I don't want to have to change much about my lifestyle to accommodate a man who doesn't live that life. I like to light my candles. I like to do my things. I have a routine when it comes to my spiritual rituals. So if I'm getting with someone who is not necessarily of the same understanding, that can cause discord. So when I say I want an obia man and a spiritual man, it's not because I want the obia, but it's because I want somebody that understands how important my rituals are to me, because they have the same intent with
Yes.
their own rituals.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just trying to find someone that I have the most ease and harmony with, so that when we get into a partnership, it flows smoothly and easily. There's nothing to think about. When I tell you I'm in church, you understand, because you're like, I be in church too. When I tell you
Listen.
we can't do certain things because I'm fasting, and hopefully you're fasting too. So it's just the mutual understanding of each other.
Understanding.
When I say I want a spiritual man, and if you're not spiritual, you're just not gonna get that. And it's no discredit to men that are not spiritual. It's just that I spend most of my time in spirit. I always joke and say I only come and visit Earth, but I live in the spirit realm.
Hello. And I agree with you, because even for me, that's definitely been a struggle. And with dating, or even the dating could be good, but when it gets to the nitty gritty of, okay, when it's time, when work cases get busy, and I'm in the shrine room all day every day, or traveling, and because it's spiritual work or fasting, sometimes dating a non-spiritual person, that can be a bit of a weight. So that's definitely something for me, being spiritual, I have to consider when navigating the dating scene. and being a front in person. Now, you can have a person that may not practice at the level that you practice, but they are willing and patient and will grow with you. You understand, and will evolve with you too. But definitely, those are things to consider when you're dating and navigating. Go ahead.
And for me, like, the reason why I say I want a spiritual man, I want you to know more than me. I don't feel like I know a lot, but I want you to be able to teach me something. You know, I like a man that's a teacher. So if you're spiritual and my interests are spiritual things, then you're teaching me what I like to know, and that's gonna hold my interest even more. Because I'm a person, I get bored very easily of people, and I'm at a stage where I could admit that now. So you have to continually keep my interest, you know. And if you're teaching me something new and we're going along in the same pathway of things, like you'd be like, Shanique, let me go read this book. Or if you know I don't like to read the book, let's go listen to this audio book and it's about something I like. Or we could joke around and, you know, I could talk the Baptist lingo with you and you get what I'm saying, you know?
Yes,
and I say, you're not looking at me like I'm crazy.
He gonna come back with another one.
Okay? you understand me. And I feel like when you prioritize your spirituality, you know, you start to understand that you cannot be with somebody that lives in the carnal life. You know, because you're always going to be diverged in interest.
And you will be tested and tried, people. That is a part of the awakening too, the testing and the trial. The testing and the trying. You're gonna find yourself growing on your spiritual path, and that little test come your way, and you find this person real attractive. The conversation is good. They treating you nice. They taking you nice places. They know how to touch you, make you feel good. But then it come time to that spiritual commitment, whatever it may be. Fasting, ceremony, prayers, rituals, travels, whatever it may be, you know, those of you that understand, then you see a different side. That is something to be aware of. You understand it, and be mindful of when you're moving forward and cultivating these relationships. Even friendships too, you know, friendships too, because your friends, because we put weight in our friendships and value in our friendships and we love our friends unconditionally. Sometimes when your friends don't understand too and you love them, it can make you feel away. And sometimes you have to grow distant from those relationships because it takes the stress, because you don't want that level of negativity influencing your energy while you're navigating and growing and evolving. Go ahead, Rain.
I feel like we forget that relationships are supposed to be built on common interests, or at least complementary interests, or someone who would even awake an interest in you that you didn't even know you had. Perfect example with my ex-husband. He was into reptiles and snakes. I would have never known I also have a similar interest in reptiles and snakes if I didn't date someone who was into that type of things. So, you know, we got to start being very intentional with what we're seeking from our relationships, even our friendships. I'm like, every one of my friends, they serve a purpose in my life, and there's nothing wrong with that. They have a role that they play, and I hope I have a role that I play within their life. And that's how you build, because it's a partnership. And that's the part of relationships that we tend to often forget. That's a partnership. So if you're a partner, you're working towards the common goal.
Very true. Very true. Very true. And you have to be, and it's important to have those conversations too. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like to have expectations or navigate or have these conversations, and we should just be free flowing and go with the flow." But I feel that when you are in relationships and you are moving like a ship without a sail, or don't know what the intent or the value or the purpose of this relationship is, or where it's going on either side, it has no purpose. And to me, that's a waste of time.
A waste of time.
You know, it's a waste of time. You know. And so all of us, I believe, as the world is shifting, and we all are going through different levels of awakening, And it may be a reach to say, I don't know, but I believe that we all are definitely, those of you that even that are watching this and those of you that are going to watch later, we're evolving to strengthen the relationships with the people that are around us, and also clearing and removing and allowing the universe to clear and remove those things and those people out of our lives that don't need to be there. As that is happening, don't fear. Don't fear, because it can be scary. Shifts in relationships can be scary. Developing new relationships that awaken new things in you can be a little bit scary and shocking. Don't run from it. If it does not harm you, if it does not take you off of your path, don't run from it. But be receptive and be present to whatever lesson is there for you. Be present for whatever you're to receive. Go ahead, Rain.
The same way that, in theory, as a spiritual person, you're supposed to pray for your relationship. Pray for your friendships too.
Yes.
Pray covering over your friendships, because a lot of times people are envious of people who have good core friendships, because a lot of people don't have positive experiences with friendships, and you take time to pray over your friendship so that it continues to grow. It continues to be a secured place. It continues to be a place of trust and fertile land. You have to take time to pray for the things that you love and you care about. So that's the piece of advice that I would give. Like,
I think that is very powerful.
Relationship, pray over it, because it's something that God gave you as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think about the times where I was at my lowest. It was the relationships that I have around me that pulled me from those places. It's the friends, the intimate relationships that were able to be like, okay, Shanique, there's still something more to this thing in life. Because if you are just totally in isolation, it's easy to forget that life is a beautiful thing. And there's so much to experience.
Yes.
And there's so much to learn. So the importance of relationships is to truly be a pathway and a portal into a glimpse into another world. Because remember, every person has their own unique perspective of what reality is. So when you have these interpersonal relationships, you're getting a glimpse into somebody else's reality. Somebody could say, like I said with my ex-husband, I would have never known I liked reptiles, but that was his reality, and I got to experience that. And now I know I love snakes. I'll probably get another pet snake, and you're getting glimpses into these people's lives. So you should cherish that. You should value that. You should hold it with care and nurture it. A lot of times we want from relationships and we're not willing to give anything back. We're not willing to pour into people. So if you have a circle, yes, your circle's supposed to be pouring into you, but make sure you're doing self-accountability and self-awareness. And are you pouring back into your circle? Are you pouring into the people that you love?
Yes.
Because God has given you a special gift of, if you're lucky enough, finding your soulmate, finding your soul tribe. There's a lot of people that go through life that never form solid, healthy attachments to people because they haven't had the benefit of finding their soul tribe.
And there's something that Mama Star, she commented earlier. She commented earlier that she's navigated through this life. Mama Star, know that you're still navigated through this life without being able to find people that she can call true friends or friends at all. And that can be a lonely road. We already are here. We walk life alone anyway. But to really walk life alone could be very difficult, And so it's strength to you, Mama Star, for continuously pushing and praying and allowing the universe to surround you with people that are meant to be in your space. You understand? Praises to the Most High for allowing you now, presently, because you're doing the work within yourself and growth, that people are being blessed to be present in your space, are more aligned with you. It can be a very lonely journey.
I definitely feel like that's like one of the, besides life, one of the best blessings that God give us is having people who truly understand us. At least for me, that's my
Mm.
perspective. Because I always feel like I'm a complex person. So when I find people who are able to be like, girl, it's okay, I get you, that's truly a blessing. So that means like when you're up, when you're down, when you're sideways, you have a team of people around you that support you and accept you for who you are. And that's the true blessing of a soulmate. You know,
Yes.
your twin is here and you will learn a lot of lessons through your twin, and it's good to have that one person, you know but it's a blessing to have a soulmate, or to find your soul tribe of people where you have your own village. Some of us are
That's
fortunate to
it.
be born into having a healthy village around us, and some of us have to create our village. So what to Mama
Yes,
Star,
yes, yes.
continue to pray to the divine to send you your soul tribe. And that's one of the things that I pray for, not only for myself, but for my children. When I pray for my children, I always pray that they find their soul tribe, that they meet the positive people that
That's
truly
it.
love and care for them. So just in case something wants to happen to me,
Mm-hmm.
they have people that are going to stand with them, that are going to stand behind them,
Yes.
that are going to prop them up. Because life is not guaranteed to anyone. So it's important when you're saying your prayers, you pray with intentions. And my intentions is always to meet people that are going to be in my life for long term. I always tell everybody this: if you come into my life, you're not going anywhere. And I'm not saying that like to be
Hmm.
clingy and possessive, it's just the track record of what it's been. If you're in my life, it's usually
Yes.
for a long and extended period of time, because I'm so selective with who I let into my life.
Mm.
Because I,
Listen to this, Rain. Mama Star says, I'm sharing it here. She says, I'm sorry. She says, very lonely. It seems people come around that have motive, but I always see through them. I would say when you are a person that shines bright and are chosen vessel that God has divinely sent to this marketplace, you're like a flame or a pot of honey. And that flame in that pot of honey will draw anything good and bad. But through the spiritual eyes that you possess, that God blessed you with, you're able to see them. And in seeing them, it gives you the choice as to how you choose to engage with them.
I would say to Mama Star, I definitely understand it being lonely. I had one friend. Some people be like, I have one friend and they have a lot of friends. I had one friend for the majority of my life. And I went through a friendship breakup, which hurt more than any relationship breakup that
Mm,
I ever been through, because it was a betrayal. But then I started to truly pray. And I tell people I'm a person that's always going to preach about the power of prayer, that God sent me my soul tribe, my people, the people who truly love me and have the best intentions for me. And that would be my advice
yes.
for you, Mama Star, is to, if you want your tribe of people and you want to have these positive relationships, start writing down what you look for in a friend. How would your friendships feel? What would you guys be doing together? Is it a spiritual friendship, or is it a carnal friendship? Are you guys going to be doing more spiritual things together? Get very clear with what you want and what you desire. Write it out, say a prayer, and leave it with God, and watch. He will bring those people into your life. A lot of times people
Oh,
come
yes.
into our
Oh, yes.
lives because we're not intentional. So the universe is just sending you anything. So the more specific you are, the more clearer the universe will get with its filter to send you what you need. But I tell you, I'm here for you. We could be besties. I need more friends, you know? And no, I don't need more friends. That was a message specifically for Mama Star. Um,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
Exactly.
just take
Exactly.
just take your time and be intentional with your prayers, and God will send who he's supposed to at the time he's supposed to bring that love into your life. But for real, Mama Star, I'm here for you.
Mm. Shay. And I like what Prince Son L says here. He says, I feel like when you master self and also move with the divine flow and allow the universe to work and shift your consciousness, I'm very cautious. So now when I enter relationships, I ask Spirit to guide the lesson I'm supposed to learn. I think that is a very powerful thing to include in your prayer, and as you are navigating as beings, asking God and the universe and your guides to navigate and to make clear the lessons that you are supposed to learn in the dynamic. That is also part of mastering self. Realizing that variety of people, good, bad, and different, no matter what the background, everyone that cross your path, whether it be for a moment, a second, a day, a month, a year, 10, or a lifetime, you know, are there to present some form of a lesson. And even sometimes you are to present some form of a lesson to them. And this is why it's important to, at times, aim to always operate from your higher self. It's not always operate from your higher self, because there is a lesson that is to be given or exchanged or received in any dynamic and relationship that you come across.
I think I'm gonna keep repeating the word intention. Everything you do
Mm.
has to be intentional. Every relationship that you encounter, if you're setting out your antennas with the universe that this is what it's supposed to do, I am a big believer that that is what's going to come. A lot of time, what the confusion
Ashe.
comes in is that we're not clear. The universe is just going to send you whatever you're asking for, good, bad, or indifferent. But the more
Mm.
clear you become, the more aware of what you need, more aware of what you desire, the closer and closer the universe brings these encounters and these people into your life. And you have to take
Mm-hmm.
that time to be alone to know what you want. And a lot of people are so afraid of being alone that they never take that time to truly figure out what their intention should be. So they're moving through the world just like a tornado. No path, no direction, just moving. So move with intention and watch the universe
Yep.
repay you in intentions. Oh, I agree with this statement.
Ashe. Roman says here, Ashe, he said in Romans says here, he says, and as we sometimes have unconscious core beliefs that block new and good friends from coming in our lives, and we have to address that with the help of community and or therapy. This is true. Therapy, community, prayer, and community looks different for everybody. This circle, your friend circle, your temple circle, your and then also one of therapy and counseling. We have to address our upbringings or some things that were instilled in us or placed in our belief system can block blessings or certain dynamics, beautiful things from coming and flourishing into our life. Go ahead, Brain.
I was going to comment that internal belief of lack of self-worth is usually what manifests when we have these
Mm.
situations where people treat us the way that we internally feel, or we attract people who project onto us what we internally feel. So I completely agree with this statement that our unconscious core beliefs can tend to block us from receiving good and positive things. Because if I don't feel like I deserve good and
Mm-hmm.
positive things, I cannot attract that into my life. So you do have to go to therapy and work through those internal issues that make you feel those feelings that may not be able to be processed on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Shay, April, thank you for the comment. Thank you, my darling. And I'm glad you always come in at the right time. And, the universe knows when to move, knows how and when to speak to the hearts and minds of its
Amen.
children. So you're right on time. You're right on time, darling. The words of wisdom tonight are pouring into you like, beautiful water tonight. You understand? Yes.
And that's why
This
I
has been a
think,
beautiful conversation.
especially when it comes to romantic relationships, that time necessarily to heal and to truly fall back in love with yourself is necessary before going into any new relationship. Because if you don't have that true self-love, even if the person is showing you love and the person is giving you positive care, you won't be able to receive it. You won't be able. That's why I said, going back to our earlier point, why most twin flames don't get into union is because most of us don't reach that point of healing to accept that true definition of unconditional love. So we have to take the time to embrace ourselves, to love ourselves, to know that we are perfectly imperfect, but yet still we're perfect because we're a reflection of the Godhead Himself. For us to attract that
Oh,
love,
yes.
that relationship within to our lives, whether it be platonic, whether it be to have a better relationship with our families, whether it be to have a romantic partner. At first, it all goes back into loving yourself.
Hmm. Self-love. If you can't love yourself, as we probably say, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else? Self-love, you got to start there. You got to start there. So the voids of feeling lonely. Why do you feel lonely? When did you first feel the loneliness? The feeling of not being heard, maybe battling, being defensive or shutting down and not communicating. When did that first start to happen? When did you start to generate those feelings and that action? And start to go back there and speak to that part of you and heal that part of you and evolve and let it go. And when you let it go, you're going to feel love, and you'll see the shift in what starts to manifest. The law of attraction. You will start to shift, and you'll see the shift before your eyes. Wonderful, wonderful comment. It's been beautiful, beautiful. Do you guys have any other start to have that you all have? You understand about twin flames, about soulmates, or things that you want to be more aware of, or how to sense certain things. We want to make sure that we give you good food. It's been beautiful. It's been water tonight, living water. That's what I'm calling this, living water today. you know because relationships are important, and there's a lot of lonely people in the world that just operate and
Mm-hmm.
stay in their space. They don't go out, they don't communicate, they wait for people to call them, or they may reach out to certain people but not have meaningful conversations, so they leave the conversation feeling empty. You understand? Or they leave the environment feeling empty. And so we have to shift the narrative, because we have the power to do it. We shift the narrative. Number
When you
one,
was
through prayer,
talking, just
because
when you
prayer
was
and
just
giving
now
signs to the universe
talking,
shifts your consciousness. Go ahead.
when you was just not talking, I was like, damn, I feel attacked because I don't go nowhere. I don't talk to nobody. But I'm trying to really shift that consciousness
And
and
you are. I can
understand.
attest that you are shifting.
I'm shifted. I'm shifted, but
You are shifting. You
it's
going
like
out, you whining a little bit.
I'll be like, I
You going
shake my
out,
little tail. But that
happy
took
hour
time.
time.
That took time. But I feel like when
Hmm.
God is ready to remove you from that period of hermit time and enter you into that period of social time, I'm here to say, trust yourself. I'm a big believer in
Yes.
trusting yourself. Trust that you've learned the lessons from the past, that you don't need to continue hiding yourself, that you can step out into the light because you're not going to make the same mistakes that you made before. You're more aware, you're more enlightened, you've done the work, you've reached a stage of healing where you can invite
Hmm.
someone and some people into your life. You know, we really have to reconnect with people. Like you said, there's so much people that are lonely. There's so many people who, even if they're in a relationship or
Mm-hmm.
having encounters, they still don't feel heard or seen or understood. So I truly pray today, through the power of the divine, that we find our soul tribes, that we find
Oh yes.
people who understand us, that we find people who love us and show us what the definition of unconditional love is, so that we can continue to traverse through this thing called life, because life is very hard. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have people who remind you that, hey, that there is still beauty within this life, it's quite easy to get caught up into the mundaneness of it. I thank God for my friends. My friend makes me
Hmm.
laugh all day, every day. It's
Ashe.
not a day I don't laugh, I don't
Ashe.
get a good kicks. That even when things are being thrown at me, I know if I look in one of my group chats, somebody gonna make me laugh today. And that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
we need to take account of all the small blessings that God put into our life. And it's not a
Ashe.
small blessing to be blessed with people, and with people that love and care about you, and people that you can feel safe and trusted with, because a lot of people don't have that. And I pray for that for all of
Ashe.
us.
I pray. Ashe. I touch and agree with Rain. You understand? And as April said, life is a beautiful mess. That's because it's an art piece. It's an art piece, and it's a beautiful mess. And it could be sensitive, be touchy, it could be hard, it could be sweet, all that beautiful, good stuff. You know, but we must hold on. We must stay optimistic. We must trust the process. And Mama Star says here, I'm learning me now that I'm over from family. I'm good with my alone time now. Sunflowers blooming. Listen, our hermit phase looks different. And with a few different hermit phases, it is okay. But to have an anchor at the end of the day, and if it's just that one person, to have a friend or support doesn't mean you got to have 5 or 6 group chats and 6 and 7, 10, 15, 20 friends. But that 1, 2 to 3 individuals that hold you down, that are in your corner through thick and thin, thicker and stronger than wet and vibe. You understand? You know what I'm talking about. That we all need it. You understand? We all need it. Even in the heavens, we weren't alone. Okay, we're gonna talk about another episode. Heavens, we weren't alone. So even coming in the marketplace, we weren't designed to be alone. And so we have to acknowledge the hermit phase, trust the hermit phase, learn, cultivate, understand, question, and grow in phase, preserve our energy, strengthen ourselves in the hermit phase. But when it blooms and it's time for the sun to kiss, and give nourishment and bless people with goodness and nourish people with goodness, it has a time and a season. Go ahead, Rain.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Keyword there is phase. It's not supposed to be permanent. It's very easy, and anybody that know me know I could attest to this, to get accustomed to being alone, to get comfortable in your solitude. But that is just fear, because you're so afraid to join and be hurt again, or to get misused again, that
Yes.
usually comes off as a form of protection. For a lot of people, they use isolation as a firewall system to keep them away from potential things that may hurt them. But a lot of times you need people to go through life. A lot of times you need people to experience new things. Like I said, every person in your life should be like a window into a different picture, because everybody's living a different life. Everybody's having a different experience. One of my friends is in the military. Another one of my friends is going back to school. I'm not doing either one of those things, but I get to experience it through my friendships. I've learned terminologies that I've
Yes.
never would have known from my
Yes.
military friend, because you're experiencing different people's lives. So that's why it's necessary to have people. And this is coming from a retired isolationist. I love my isolation. I love my alone time, but I've learned that it's very important to have a tribe. Confirmation from the tree. It's very important to have a tribe. So pray to God to send your tribe of people, because like I said, we all need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And it could just be that one somebody, but you still need somebody.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. That is a fact. And with that being said, you beautiful people, I pray that the words of wisdom today and the revelations today and the experiences shared today gives you some understanding, some peace, and plant seeds that are going to grow and yield wonderful harvest and prosperity in your life in every way. And again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your energy in this space, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So we thank you for your energy and your positive vibration. And so I pray that doors open for you to develop relationships, powerful relationship. And that being said, I pray a beautiful night. And I'm going to let you guys a little bit to enjoy your evening.
Sun rays like a satellite. Energies bring me back to life. Catch me chilling with the halo. Universal flow, I belong here. Keep that focus on that starlight. God of my universe, part of my mission, righteous the all might. Raw splitting the sea into that clear sight. Go far into vision, lifting up that soul right. High low, high low. High low, high low, elevate my love, generate my touch, everything I see coming to me, I'm knowing, fruits that I bear from the sowing, I just put in work to the morning, to the 3 birds.